Okay, what's up, Aquarius? So, we are going to be doing, let's see, there's definitely celebrating and things coming. Um, we're going to read from The Path of Greatness. We're going to read, this is from Florence Scovel Shinn. We're going to get an affirmation because possibly you guys have experienced some kind of truth that brought you to an ending. It brought you to the close of the cycle. If you have been watching the readings, and you know that there's a huge ending. And one of the readings we got, I just saw a butterfly. We got the world card twice. Okay, so this is like the divine pushing you into your destiny, the divine saying that anything that holds you back must go. So this is in the form of beliefs. This is in the form of jobs, spaces, locations, relationships, whether it be family ships, friendships, partnerships, business ships, romantic ships. Okay, being shown and known, so that you can really just kind of be catapulted forward into your destiny. So yesterday we saw like two different versions of wagons, like old time wagons, and then like a wagon that was really old, like with the big wheel, like the Cinderella kind of wagon, and they were definitely like relics. It was very old. And then today we saw another kind of like wagon thing. It was a small horse being pulled, right? So again, like horse and carriage wagon. So this is also, again, symbolism for the chariot. So that's 3 sevens, okay? And the chariot, spirit coming in like, no, it's go time, and like pushing you, or even pulling you, okay? Because you may have been, there may have been habits, addictions, things like not eating right, giving into anxiety or worry and covering it up with like food and these kinds of things. So now Spirit is like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to stand in our power. We notice when we're triggered. We know what our triggers are. We also know what the self-sabotaging habits, and addictions are when we are triggered. So we are going to kindly embrace this, and we are going to kindly step away from the old self, the old way that we would handle something, and we're going to step into our power. We're going to step into who we are, our authentic self, the best version of ourself, the high vibrational version of ourself. Okay, the self that is at peace, the self that is within calmness. Okay. So with that, I already started channeling. I'm going to, oh, wow. Okay, so I'm in a new location. This is a park. I've never been here before. It's a beautiful park, and we walked first, and I saw 2 15s. Now, 15 is devil energy, but also 15 in the positive energy is you walking into a new contract, you walking into a new role, you basically walking into your power, and you being fully supported by the divine, and you transmuting all of the energy that was holding you back from walking in that, and you basically turning pain into power. Okay, so I saw 2 15s, and I was like, oh, okay, that's double confirmation new contract. And when I just opened the book, I opened to right here, chapter 15, in which underneath of it, or not chapter 15, this is like number 15 in the affirmations portion of this book, and after it is 16, which is the tower, which is something unexpected, which if you have not experienced that yet, you are either you're about to experience it, or I'm hearing 2 to 3 days. Okay, because at number 23, also LeBron James might be important to you guys, some way, shape, or form. The word billionaire or something like this, or a new contract, because he also just signed a week ago, 7 days ago. Oh my goodness, he just signed. So I was guided to go get aloe water and watermelon. Okay, so aloe water with mango in it, and aloe water with pineapple in it, and then watermelon. Okay, because when you're doing energy work, you're releasing a lot. Okay, and it depletes your vitamins. as well when you're doing heavy releasing work. And so I'm doing these videos for you guys, but I'm also doing the work on myself. Okay, so that's a lot of releasing. Okay, and a lot of times too, after the video, I have to go, and anything that I might have tapped into, I have to go ground that. I have to go release it. And if it takes me you know, a day or two to do that, my body is in depletion during that time. So it means your immune system gets decreased, and because you're vitamin deficient. Okay, so by eating fruits and vegetables that are high in electrolytes and high in vitamins, okay, it helps for you to bounce back quicker. So I feel like Spirit is having me explain this to you because many of you are going to be doing energy work of some kind when it comes to like clearing karma, or tapping into the Akashic, or doing Reiki healing, and these kinds of things. So it's going to be important for you to understand that doing this work, also the other part of doing this work is keeping yourself, your physical body in its optimal performance, optimal shape. There's actually basketball players that weren't here when I first got here, but they're here now. All right, so LeBron James plays basketball, and I was buying this water, and I looked over at the counter in the supermarket, and I saw James 23. Now, number 23 might be important to you. It's definitely important to me. It's reminding me of 2 high priestesses, but also 3 empress energy. So the high priestess and the empress working together, all right, to make something move forward, make something change. The 5, the 2, and 3. So I saw it, and then I went to go hit check out for the order, but I hit the thing, look up code. I hit that instead, and I was like, okay, so it's telling me to look up LeBron, look up James 23, and usually when that happens, it's usually referring to a Bible verse. Okay, I don't remember exactly what the Bible verse, how it was word for word, but basically it was when you hear the word, if you ignore it, it's like looking at your face and you forgetting what you look like. So when you are guided to do something, even when you were feeling, I'm going to say it, depleted, tired, drained, even when you're feeling like this, but if Spirit, the universe, God, your intuition, your high priestess is like, Empress, I need you to go do this. Empress, I need you to feel this. Empress, I need you to speak these words. Empress, I need you to write one more page of I am gratitude affirmations. Empress, I need you to meditate more. Empress, whatever. Okay, so that's that energy of trusting and having faith, and also building you up, your stamina up, because also remember the Chariot is like could be fast movement, and because we saw evidence of the 7s coming in yesterday and today, something is going fast. And also the horses race, they go fast, right? One of the things that horses love to do is they love to run. They love to run, just run and just run, right? They love to run. And so it's this energy of you going fast with something that you feel so passionate about, something that is your soul, okay? So Spirit is also preparing you, Emperor energy, the number 4. So we've been talking about that a lot too, preparing you to be in your destiny. I almost feel like you're no longer it's not this issue of I have to get into alignment to where I'm supposed to be. It's this thing of I have to stay in alignment. You are in alignment to where you're supposed to be, but you have to stay there. So the moments when these triggers happen, or when these endings happen, and you kind of find yourself get pulled back a second, that's when you go back within. They're showing me the 3 of Pentacles, and you call on your guides, and you say, I accept support, I accept guidance, I accept help, I accept healing, and you come back to your center, all right? And I accept connection, and you come back to your center, you bring yourself there, and you stay in that spot, okay, Empress? You stay in that spot until you completely connect it to that High Priestess energy, and then you get back to it, okay? So number 15 talks about protection. All right, so that's another way. I think we talked about it in one of the other videos, but you protection doesn't just come in spiritual form by you wearing your crystals and things like that. It also comes in how you're protecting your physical body and with your nutrients that you're getting in, but also with the relationships you keep. So if you find yourself arguing with devil energy, you know, somebody done triggered you, they're trying to bring you from, you know, 0 to 100 because they're pulling on your emotional body, or they're pulling pulling on your emotional body because they're trying to get you to rage out. They're trying to get you to rage against the storm, but not in the way that it is productive. They're trying to distract you from what it is that you need to do. Now, in my case, when I get heated, I snap, right? So it takes me a long time to kind of get back to myself because I done gone so far into the darkness that I have to literally, like, it's ridiculous. And I had to learn that. So I had to learn how to control my emotions. I had to learn how to control my rage. And when I say control it, I had to learn not to allow my fears to control me, because usually when you get upset like that, it's because someone else is making, and I'm gonna say it like this and then I'm gonna rewind it, making you feel insecure. That's not what it is. It is them bringing out the insecurity you feel about yourself, and then you projecting your anger toward yourself onto them. All right, so this is all about acceptance. It's all about you taking accountability for how you are handling a situation and how you are not handling it. Okay. Yeah, so protection also comes in that way, to recognize when there's this kind of a trigger, and it's only for you to be like, okay, I see this is here. I'm going to honor it, but I'm not going to honor it by, going out of my energy. I'm going to honor it by seeing where within myself do I need to release an attachment to some kind of fear or inferiority complex. Okay? Yeah, so I'm just going to read the affirmation so that you can just hear this, and then I hope this was on. Yeah. And then I'm going to do the memory, number 16. I will talk about that in a second. Okay. So protection. I am surrounded by the white light of Christ, through which nothing negative can penetrate. I'm going to say it again. Always get in the habit of doing your affirmations 3 times. Sometimes I get tired. I'm writing affirmations and I'm like, do I really? And they're like 3 times. Okay, so this is also you staying dedicated and devoted to the self-work, because this is not, when people talk about, oh, it's not for the weak, right? They're not talking about like this like physical stamina. It's the mind. It's the strength of the mind. Okay, so it's like that's what they're talking about. It's like, how strong are you in mind to reach a goal? So again, going back to LeBron James, and I read it because I got it to go to contracts, and it said that, like, I think he just signed like $85 million contract or something like this. And so he's like this, I guess, the second NBA player to get $1 billion contract, or to become a billionaire from basketball. And I think it said that Jordan is the first. And actually, I know that Michael Jordan's number is 23. So that's like interesting too. I don't know I'm not a basketball person, so I don't know like the history behind did LeBron James has that been his number? I don't know the history behind it, but that is a synchronicity. Okay. All right. So also I feel like there's like a torch being like passed on as well. So maybe and there is, because I have the Mayan. We're going to be reading from the Mayan oracle as well. Okay. So there's definitely ancestral gifts and things like this that are being passed on to you. The torch is being passed, it's being handed to you, but it's being handed to you, and like you have to accept it. So that means that whenever your lower self, your ego self, your fearful self, your prideful self wants to do something that is against your high priestess energy, that is for you to have the mental stamina, the mental strength to move forward, to move past that, and to stay the path. Okay. So I am surrounded by the white light of the Christ, through which nothing negative can penetrate. I am surrounded by the white light of the Christ, which nothing negative can penetrate. I walk in the light of Christ, and my fear and my fear giants dwindle into nothingness. I walk in the light of Christ, and my fear giants dwindle into nothingness. There is nothing to oppose my good. I walk in the light of Christ, and my fear giants dwindle into nothingness. There is nothing to oppose my good. I walk in the light of the Christ, and my fear giants dwindle into nothingness. There is nothing to oppose my good. Now, when I first was reading that, I felt like it was too much, and I didn't read the second sentence of the affirmation. And I noticed that within myself, I thought it was too much. And so I chose not to take the full blessing. Okay? You see how this is like coming together? Like choosing not to take the full blessing because you think it's too much. God will only give you what you can handle, what you can bear. And what you can handle, what you can bear is what you think you can, right? And if your belief is, I can only have so much, that's only how much you will have. If you got offered, there's this book that we were listening to, it's called the Instant Millionaire. And there was a situation where a guy was being interviewed, and the millionaire was prepared to pay him $80,000, okay, a year for being a manager. But when they started the interview, this person who he highly thought of, like he wanted to give him the job, like he had the job. The interview was just a part of the like motions. Well, the guy was like, when he first started, he says, I will take nothing less than $50,000. And the millionaire was like, okay, well then $50,000 is what you'll have, you know. And he said he almost hesitated on giving the person the job because the person didn't see their own worth. They didn't see how valuable they were. And they actually, in just an instant, in that moment, they lost $30,000, okay? So, and it's only because they didn't see themselves worthy of the $80,000. So this is also within this sentence that we just read. I recognized that, and I said, I'm resisting. I'm resisting. I'm not taking all that which is being handed to me. This is a blessing, you know. And it's like if you see a penny on the ground, you walk past it, then you are resisting money. Okay, because it doesn't matter in what form it comes to you. It is a blessing. You take that, all right? So there's something that you've asked for. We're on 17 minutes too, 17:33. There's a wish, okay, Aquarius? There's a wish that you've asked for, something being fulfilled that you've asked for that you are resisting taking, okay? You're resisting it. So I noticed that after the first time I read it, and then the second time I read the whole thing, because I had faith and trust in myself that this is how it's being handed to me. This is how I will deliver it. Okay? I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to think that it's too much to say. I'm not going to disrespect you and thinking that's too much for you to consume. You know what I mean? So it's like taking the control, the ego out of it, taking the fear out of it, and allowing myself to just surrender. Surrender. So even in these little moments, and I know the sun is probably like dark, and I apologize guys if the sun is like super dark and this video is like dumb dark, but that's also like, it's really the word, and I just heard that. He says it's really the words that are important, not people looking at you. So, okay, you see, so, right, so like I feel there's this energy of like turn on that, like chew that for a second and ask yourself, even journal, you know, where am I not putting my whole heart into something that I've asked for? Where am I not giving my all? You know, and it could be in any area. It could be in the area of self-love, self-confidence, self-esteem, you know, physical health, even because your inner health also shows your outer health. And if you're not taking care of, like, say your face or your body, blah, 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 so that's showing like how you're viewing yourself, you know, these kinds of things. And I don't mean like, you know, getting all dressed up and all that, but I mean like, you know, washing with care, you know, when you're washing your hair or when you're doing your, you know, your oils and things like this on your skin, are you rushing through it, or are you like enjoying that moment, you know? And it's like being grateful for these little things and and understanding that these huge big things come out of that because you're tapped in, you're in flow in that moment, in that time. Okay, so that's also another thing, that if you find yourself being anxious or triggered or anything like that, go to your joy. Go to the thing that you feel completely safe doing, and open your heart to that. And don't, it's this energy of where your focus goes, it grows. Okay, so if you're focused on the trigger and, you know, how dare they or whatever, then that grows, and you're giving your power away, you're giving your energy away, you know, whatever, you know, however the situation is for you. So it's for you to recognize that, and for you to pull yourself back into your center and what centers you. Okay, yes. So the next thing is the tower, and handling the tower. Okay, because this is the other thing, like before this, whatever this is about, this contract that's going to be like solidified, because he just signed it. All right, so there was this like this going back and forth of is he going to sign it? They're waiting for him to take, you know, is he going to take it, that kind of thing. So this is kind of what the divine is doing with you right now. You might have some confusion, you might not really see very clearly what this contract is, but if you take away all the distractions, you'll know exactly what this cup, they're showing me the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Ace of Cups. All right, so there's 2 blessings in this. Actually there's 4. All right, but right now what's being handed to you, right? And they're like, are you going to jump in? Are you going to take it? Are you going to do the trust fall, the Fool energy? So you might be seeing lots of zeros lately. Okay, triple zeros, quadruple zeros. Okay, because it's like this energy of just surrender, just let go. And something with memory is coming in, because that's what the 16 is. So what's going to happen is something unexpected will happen, because it's meant to release, dissolve all of the blockages and lift all of the obstacles that would stop you from completely 100%, 1000% with everything you are, saying yes to whatever this path is for you. Okay, if for some of you, it could just be a path of self-study. Like, it's different for everyone. Okay, the affirmation is, there is no loss of memory in divine mind. Therefore, I recollect everything I should remember, and I forget all that is not for my good. I'm going to stop for a second, because James, don't go to King James Version, because I can never understand what the verse means. I like to go, what is it? Like the new one, you know, the new one. I forget how you call it, but it says it in a way that I can understand the verse. And remember, in James 23, it talks about, like, if you hear the word and then you don't act upon it, it's like you looking in the mirror and you forgetting what you look like. So this is exactly what this is. So this is what this is coming in. This is where you fall back asleep. Okay, you fall back asleep because you're giving into the matrix, you're giving into the devil energy. You fall back asleep. This could be over Netflixing. Okay, so over watching movies, like spending too much time watching movies. So like if you want to take a day out and you're like, I'm just gonna watch TV just for a day, and you do that because you've been working your ass off all month, so be it. But if this is something that you're doing on a regular, you're being hypnotized, you're falling back asleep. Okay, because now you're being programmed to something that is not your truth. All right, TV is programming. Okay, and then also this could be in what you're consuming, different processed foods and foods that are not non-GMO, organic. They have chemicals in there to where when you consume it, it's reprogramming your DNA. It's reprogramming your physical body, and it reprograms it for depression, for sadness, for obesity, for lack of energy. You understand? Okay, so these things you have to like remember that if you overdo something, overindulge, okay, because of a trigger or because you're falling back asleep and you're not doing your affirmations, you're not doing your meditation, you're not spending time in nature, you're not spending time on your joy and on your fulfillment, you're just going to the job, watching a movie, eating, and going to sleep. If you were doing that, you are in the matrix. You are asleep. Okay, if you are not rediscovering something new every single day, you are asleep. Okay, You were asleep, okay? And that's how you can tell. So it's like snap out of it. So this affirmation is to help you to release anything that would cause you, any programs that would cause you to fall back asleep. Okay, so this is also releasing projections, thoughts, beliefs, experiences, traumas of the people around you. All right, and you releasing any responsibility for transmuting their energy. Okay, so even when you're doing energy work, you're not transmuting that energy. You are channeling it through you, giving it to Mother Earth or to Father Sky or to another, whoever you're working with. They're taking it. They are transmuting it. They are turning it into something. And this is something that I had to really come to terms with and really understand, because you were taking on too much. When you were a channel, you're a channel for healing. Okay? You're a channel for healing, and that healing doesn't take place within you. It takes place in the in the divine, depending on where it goes. Okay? Depending on who you're working with and all that. Okay? So I'm going to read the affirmation again. There is no loss of memory in divine mind. Therefore, I recollect everything I should remember, and I forget all that is not for my good. Again, there is no loss of memory in divine mind. Therefore, I recollect everything I should remember, and I forget all that is not for my good. Right? So if you had an argument with somebody, or try to be an argument, like where people try to, how people just they try to argue with you, and you're like, they try, and you're just like, all right, bye. Like, I'm gonna go. And they're just arguing with themselves, and you completely you've left the cycle. They're still back there arguing. Okay, so that's that kind of energy, and it's like just separate from it. Okay. Yeah, give it. Well, one, return to sender. Okay, return to sender, but also give it to God, or whatever, however you want to do it. Give it to Mother Earth, give it to universe, however you want to Okay. Okay, so I know that was I feel like that was a channel, but we're gonna be there's gonna be some other stuff coming in, and so I'm hearing we're gonna go to the Light Seers Tarot. Yeah. We're going to go to Light Seers Tarot. So I'm going to take just a second. I'm going to draw my flower. If you need to go get something to drink or something like that, go ahead and get something to drink. Go to the bathroom. Okay. It's like a little intermission time. Okay. And that'll give me time. I'll start shuffling the cards. And I also have the Crystal Wisdom little cards that we got, and the Mayan. Okay, so before we end I feel like saying session. I don't even feel like saying reading anymore, because I feel like it's more than that. But so go ahead and take a 5 minutes. I'm gonna ring the bell, and when you hear the bell, come back. And if those of you are like, oh, I need to fast forward past this, that's impatience, that's frustration, and that's why you might be still in a healing period, because you're working on patience. Okay? It's not in your time, it's divine timing. You have to surrender to the flow. So I'm being directed. We're about to start in a second, but I'm being directed to, while I just drew a flower, and I'm just going to color it in, but to say the affirmation while I draw, and then we'll ding the bell. So, there is no loss of memory in divine mind. Therefore, I recollect everything I should remember, and I forget all that is not for my good. There is no loss of memory in divine mind. Therefore, I recollect everything I should remember, and I forget all that is not for my good. There is no loss of memory in divine mind. Therefore, I recollect everything I should remember, and I forget all that is not for my good. And I'm hearing, I welcome all that is for my greatest good now. I'm open and receiving all that is for my greatest good now. I'm open and receiving all that is for my greatest good now. All right, so definitely, if you're repeating these things, definitely expect to receive some kind of information or download or gift, because they're showing me a from the Lenormand deck, they're showing me the gift, and it's a coin in a hand. Yeah, so, and I almost feel like it's going to be something that you're going to be surprised with, and it might be something where you almost don't even take it, or you don't think it's real. You're going to be like, are you serious? You know, almost like maybe somebody offering you like an unseen, like an, what's the word? No, an obscene amount of money, and you're like, what's a catch? You know what I mean? It's like going to be something like that. So you got to be open to receive it, okay? Within 17 days. I'm hearing too. Okay, so within 17 days, and then also the 18th day, something that you have been wanting to be even more clear is going to be crystal clear. They're showing me like, it's like a hope diamond, but it's like light blue. Kind of like how they wanted me to draw that. But, you know, the color is not the flower. Okay. Let me ring the bell. Gonna come on back and come on back. So now, Spirit. Okay. So Spirit wants us to go to, this is the Mayan. Alright. This is the Mayan Oracle, a galactic language of light. Okay, deck. So this oracle, it has a bunch of activation codes in it, and it has an activation poem that we're going to read for you guys. That's just going to help you surrender and release during this time. Is I think it's the waning crescent, right? Or preparing for the new moon that's going to be coming up in a few days. I believe it's on the 26th or 27th of new moon. Just check it out. New moon in Gemini. All right, so this is where we're going to be writing intentions based on Gemini energy. So energy of two becoming one, okay? Energy of alignment, energy of, you know, seeing both sides, but also understanding that only one exists, only love is real. So Ben is who came out. So these colors might mean something to you. This is also an activation card for you. So you can just look at it for a bit. The name Ben might be important to you as well. This might also be some of that Ben energy, big Ben energy that be coming into my readings. That grandfather from the UK who likes to visit. Yeah. So I'm just going to go through. There's some things that resonate with Ben that Ben might be in your energy, okay, so that you can kind of understand a little bit more of what Ben is here to do for you. And so Ben, you pronounce him Ben, and his common Mayan usage is Cain. Okay, the qualities that he represents or helps you through are fluid reference points, time space traveler, skywalker, angelic messenger, pillars of heaven, courage, new directions, mysterious journey, compassion. His symbols are crystal, quartz crystal flight, and heart chakra. All right, so remember, I don't know if it was in the last reading, I can't remember, that we said you're getting a major heart healing at this time. So this energy, Ben is here to help you with this. A Ben represents the number 13, which is a symbol for universal movement. Okay. Ben's color is sunset pink. The herbs are almond, everlasting, and clove. You might have also been seeing bluebells or been inspired by bluebells, or you might be seeing bluebells soon. Okay. The flower is the pink rose. All right, so you might have been seeing that as well. The flower essence is silver sword, which is spiritual awakening. The scents are rose and rose geranium. And remember, we've been mentioning the rose a lot, and you guys using rose oil and using roses and things like that. So this is also why, confirmation. The crystals, the stones are kunzite, rose quartz, pink sapphire, star rose quartz. The element is earth. His direction is east. Okay, so he's working with Archangel Raphael. Okay, yes. And the shadow wisdom. So this is the wisdom that Ben comes to help you transmute, to transform. And it is desire for isolation, withdrawal, retreat, fear of the unknown, limited reference points, oversensitivity. Okay, so this is important because we're now in Cancer season, and when people are imbalanced, their emotions run high. So this is also why people might be coming back from the past, and they might be coming back with some rah-rah, all right, because they're not balanced, and cancer energy is very strong, right? So it's this energy of keep doing the things to keep you in emotional balance, all right, and also staying away from energies that are not doing the work. Okay. The shadow transformation. Explore your growth edges by directly facing challenges. Draw the light of courage and compassion into yourself and radiate it to others. Look at life as a sacred journey. So remember, we were saying, like, you might not feel like staying the path, like with eating or with doing your work, but doing your work is a part of you shining your light and you radiating your light. If you're a clear channel, not only you're a clear channel for yourself, but you're also a clear channel for the people around you. And you'll start noticing that the people that are closest to you, like in your vicinity, the more work you do, you'll start to see people like changing their health routines. You'll start seeing people like all of a sudden, like, you know, your friend is like, you know what, I booked with the therapist today. You know what I mean? Like, your vibration is rising, so everybody around you is rising too. All right, like the people in your close area. But the people that are meant to stay, they were seasoned. That's, yeah, you already know. Okay. I'm like, don't look back. Okay. So harmonic wisdom is balance. Okay. Mudra. I'll read this, and then maybe in one of the videos we'll do this with you, but it's put your hands over your head a few inches apart from and forming pillars, then move up and down from head to heart, creating a column of energy through you. So it's like going like this. Okay, like going like this, but doing like this. Okay, that's the mudra. And you can say this. There's two. One is a meditation. I am a struck bell. Once struck, there is no return. May the light of love that I am spill into the lives of all I touch and be harvested infinitely. All right, so that's something you can rewind and just write down. The other affirmation that is actually easier to remember and to say while you're doing that is, I am a pillar of the invisible temple that brings heaven to the earth, right? And we had grabbed Your Invisible Power by Genevieve Brand as well, but it's in the car. So this is also you working that invisible energy, because some of you, your sight might be opening to where you can see auras and things like that, but some of you might just feel it, you know, like when you go to an area that's very dense energy, like full of fear, low vibrational, you may start to like feel dehydrated. You may start to get anxiety and this and that, and it's only because now you gotta have your shields increase, okay? Shields increase 100% now. Shields increase 1000% now. You can say things like that in your mind to increase your shield when you go into places of low density, okay? Now, we are going to read the activation poem for you guys, okay? And so this is an activation. So just open and receive and just say, I accept. All right. This is a form of energy healing. This will help you have breakthroughs, okay, within your heart space, and help you to come into a very deep heart healing, help you activate to the deepest part of your soul, awaken to the deepest part of your soul. All right, is the intention. So if you're not ready for what that brings, and a lot of you, yeah, I just saw like there's like a mosquito. A lot of you know that, all right? So there's definitely like, this is going to help protect you against energy vampires with the mosquito coming, but not coming here. Like it just went over there. Like it didn't even come to the picnic table. I just noticed it. So that's another thing it's going to help you do. Be very aware and alert of possible dangers, but it's not going to allow that danger to come into you. Oh, I got it. Yeah, they said share the story. Let me share the story with you, y'all. So, my father, he's in prison right now. My father has spent over 30 years, probably 45 years in prison of his life. And he's in there yet again, but really quickly, he should be out next year, and then he'll be done with his full sentence, and we won't have to worry about parole and that kind of thing, you know? And so, but the whole point of this is, it was Father's Day, and I missed this call, and actually I was getting activations during that time, so Spirit wouldn't even allow me to take it. I was hitting the button, and Spirit was like, no. So I was getting activations for like 4 hours on Father's Day, the morning of Father's Day, because remember, if you guys are following my videos, you know that we're right now, Aquarius Collective is helping to heal the divine masculine energy at this time, okay? And so you're okay. All right. So this is also why you need to be a clear channel, because we're healing these bloodlines. So I was like, all right. And then he ended up calling when I was on my way driving my daughter to go see her father. And me and my daughter, I had the car phone is on. So we're driving, and I'm talking to Dad, and a white car behind us. It was a 4-door. It was a little bit older car. It looked like a Taurus or something, like an old version. And it literally drove off. Like me and my daughter saw it. She was looking in the mirror, and I was looking in the rear view. It drove off the road, just like off the road, and it went into the ditch. But the way the ditch was, it was like the kind where it didn't go all the way down. It could just like kind of go up and veer, you know. So it kind of like boom, 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 and it stopped before it went into the other ongoing traffic. We're on the highway, and this happens to be one of the highways where there's no where you could go onto any side, you know what I mean? But it stopped before it went into that traffic. It didn't hit any cars, and it didn't hit us. So this is what I'm saying. Shielded. Okay? That car could have went crazy, like, and it could have just like boom. It was right behind us. It could have just went like boom. But whatever was going on, Spirit found a way to where it moved it out the way, and it protected them too. Nobody got hurt, and everyone else around that car didn't get hurt either. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. Like, you're gonna be able to avoid situations like that. Okay, let me tell you, it's powerful, but you gotta accept it. All right, you gotta accept protection. So here we go. The song of the future, returning to itself, now pulsates through the frequencies of earth, even in its tender promise quickening within every cell of humanity. What these heavenly frequencies return in this time of the great shift, to draw the shimmering center of humanity, to embrace the pillars of heaven, whose beams descend from the once and future dream, longing to awaken. Winged child who walks in wisdom and tenderness, thou art innocent, laughter and flowered heart, open wide in the celebratory passion, for this dream is vitally alive. And I, the cosmic Pied Piper, extend to you now my gentle hand. Let us take a free fall dive into the unknown. Abandon your fears with unwavering trust. Step upon my star path, spanning dimensions like a luminous bridge. Joyfully will we dance, awake the dream on the altar of the present moment, the platform of sacred delight, joining heaven and earth. Move in uncharted territory with protean reference points, unveiling the one true identity. I am Ben, here to bridge you with a remembered message from your own heart. You are a pillar of light on earth, and heaven is where you stand. Just give it a moment. It's very powerful. I feel the energy coming in. My vortex is spinning. So just allow, if you start like, and if you're in a safe environment watching this, you can also expand it out, all right? And it will really start to clear. What it's doing is clearing your energy body. Alton body's all 12 layers, okay? It's clearing you. It's clearing you from the seed and conception. So, and that's also kind of why towers will come in, because if you don't vibe with something but you're like holding on to it, then the unexpected will come in to clear it away. But also there's going to be happy tower moments too, where, you know, unexpected gifts, fortune, goodwill, all this stuff, healing is going to come in, and also support to help you focus on your healing. All right, because I saw it was 4 7 11. Okay, so when I see the 4, I see stability, I see a new contract, I see the 4 of Wands, I see happiness, I see celebration, but I also see the Emperor. And when I see 7-11, I always see, okay, how can I be more upfront about my own healing? What can I do now to put my healing in the forefront? Because Emperor energy is like driving your healing. So it's almost like this fire, this rage driving your healing, and you have to kind of, there's times when you got to step out of the fire and go into the water, into the calmness, and allow yourself to be healed by the water. So releasing through crying, watching movies, romantic movies, or just, you know, like movies that are like Dumpling, okay? Like I cried through that. Dumpling, like movies that are like social injustice, you know, these kinds of things. Even, what was it that we watched? It was like the girl who was in Victorious was the lead. After the Afterlife Party, or the Party Afterlife, something like that. You can look it up. That also, that's a good one, and it's just about death. Oh, and also watching what is it? Is it called The Cabin? What is it? I think it is The Cabin. It's about life and death, and, you know, people not taking advantage and living their life fully. Okay, so movies like that, you know, Messages from Heaven, these kinds of things, and then them having the chance, them seeing like how they're like throwing their life away, you know, and not seeing every day as a gift and living their life to the fullest, and then them seeing that and seeing how they're affecting the people around them, and how they're not seeing gifts, right, and then and just throwing them away, and then they see that forgiveness really is the healing that's needed. It's forgiveness, you know, to release that resentment. So that's also why you're going to get this huge heart healing, because you're going to be forgiving. You're going to be surrendering resentment. Okay, and when you do that, it's like you have a new lease. Now something old turns something new. You have a new chance. Macklemore, Glorious, okay, that song might be important, or you need to listen to it, because it's like I have a chance to do it again. So trigger, it's a trigger warning for some of you who may have recently tried to commit suicide, or who are thinking about committing suicide. This kind of thing, it's kind of like believing and having faith that you can turn things around by just with one faith seed, one seed of gratitude, even one affirmation every day in every way. You know, I get better and better, or every day in every way my life gets better and better. But really, Spirit, Source, God, Mother Earth want you to focus on every day in every way I get better, because it's really your mindset that is going to change your life. And you have incredible gifts and skills, and you need to spend more time in nature to clear your energy, to ground it out, because a lot of what you're feeling is not even yours. All right, so I'm talking to someone who's like super empathic as well. So you might have Pisces or be Cancer, all right, in your chart, as well as Aquarius. Yeah, look, Two of Wands, all right. So this energy of knowing what direction to go into. All right, and there's the Seven, there's the Chariot we were talking about. Inner conflict kind of keeping you from making this decision to really close the cycle, but you're overcoming this, okay? This card turns into peace. It turns into peace, and you go on that new adventure, all right? You go on that new adventure and you look at it from the awe. So remember when I was saying like washing your hair or putting your lotion and your oils on and stuff, and you like really seeing the beauty and the being grateful for that moment. It's like doing that. It's like sitting here and looking at the flowers and being so grateful that I can see the yellow, being so grateful I can see the green, being so grateful that I can hear the birds, being so grateful that I can feel the sun, being so grateful that I can hear the wind and I can vibe with it, feeling so grateful that the sky is clear. There's absolutely no clouds in the sky right now. So, and being grateful that it's like sky blue, that's my color, and that's why we're doing with this blue, okay? And also many of you, because of Ben, many of you guys are messengers, so many of you are prophets, and you are meant to speak from your heart. You're meant to share the messages that are coming to you. So that's the other thing. Like, if you're not sharing the messages coming to you, however that is, it could be through art, it could be through writing, it could be through music, it could be through you creating a new dish, you inventing a new cupcake, whatever that is. If you're not doing that, then you're not going to be blessed for that, because you're not sharing it. Okay, so that's another reason why we're here, because the masculine needs to be healed in the way of being able to feel good about sharing your uniqueness, being able to be good about sharing your genius, your power, your inventions, your visions. Okay. Yeah, because you're meant to help humanity rise. You're meant to help improve, okay, in any way, shape, or form. It could be mental health, but it could also be like, you know, in other, I really feel a lot of health stuff, because I feel there's a lot of medical psychics here that I'm talking to. So I feel like you guys can envision like new ways to improve the medical industry and inventions and these and things like this. I also feel I'm talking to a lot of engineers, a lot of carpenters or construction people, like you work with your hands. Like your hands are our gift, okay, in some way, shape, or form. Whether you make jewelry or you do hair or whatever that is that your genius is, and if you're not sharing it, now is the time, okay? Yeah. So some other crystals that came out that would be beneficial for you guys is aquamarine communication. I communicate with grace and ease. Okay. So that's also this light blue. So even wearing light blue or staring at the sky, whether there's clouds in it or not, is going to help you as well. So a lot of throat chakra healing coming in, you opening to receive. All right, so just saying that a lot as well, and you can focus a blue rose on your heart and just keep saying that over and over again. You can also say affirmations like peace be still and know that I'm God. Okay, focusing on your heart, opening that sacred heart. And then the other thing that came through is crystal quartz clarity. So crystal quartz, clear quartz, is the easiest, most cheapest crystal to go buy. You know, but you also can write that down and just say, I'm so grateful and thankful for my new piece of clear crystal quartz, and the universe can gift it to you. And just say, I'm open and receiving, you know, all forms of abundance, and I'm so grateful I received my new, you know, crystal quartz, or whatever. You can do whatever you want, okay? I have clarity in all aspects of my life. I have clarity in all aspects of my life. Okay? Yeah, and this is beautiful because we're ending on like this 55, this change, and we're coming out of this disappointment, we're coming out of depression, sadness, coming out of inner conflict, and we're coming into this new contract, this devotion with self, in which we claim, I am the star. I'm the star that shines in the darkness. I'm the star that does not dim my light. I am the star that follows my genius, and I share it with intention, right? To radiate. Yes, yes, yes. And radiate all that love out to everyone around me. Okay, so I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Definitely. If you guys want to book with me, go ahead and book with me. We can do all kinds of different work, you know. Or I can just read for you. That's cool too. You know what I'm saying? Or we can help you accept your psychic abilities, your intuitive gifts, or do clearings and dissolve blockages, or teach you how to dissolve your blockages, so that way you can activate to a higher level of your intuitive knowing and of your psychic gifts, and also your soul and galactic knowledge and heritage. Okay, so all right guys, bye.